Hello, my name is Ash, and today we are taking a look specifically at Hearthstone Battlegrounds, and not Hearthstone as a whole. Battlegrounds has been around for a few years now, and in Battlegrounds specifically I have several hundred hours, and although I only play the game casually, I do enjoy it. Hearthstone itself is showing its age, and Battlegrounds content doesn't get many large changes per season, so let's have a look at a few suggestions on how to improve the game. Generally speaking, Hearthstone needs a massive overhaul to its engine. It needs a Hearthstone 2. It needs modern features put in such as support for larger resolutions. They could transfer everyone's cards and account over and just move it to a better overhaul game. But they could use a new engine to tidy up a lot of the animations, a lot of the freezing and disconnects and other bugs that go on in the game, improve the graphics and tidy the entire game up generally. I think a few quality of life improvements could make the game that little bit more enjoyable. One issue with the game is that players get frustrated when they are trying to cycle for a specific card and it doesn't show up, and yet their opponents seem to get the cards they need. Frustration is never a good thing in video games. One thing I think they could do to fix this would be to put in a pool count. This shows how many copies of a card were in your pool at the beginning of your turn. This would eliminate the frustration, as if you saw there was only one more card that you were looking for in the pool, you won't be as annoyed when it doesn't show up. It also might help you divert your strategy, as you know that the chances of you seeing that card are quite low. At the moment, if any of you aren't aware, a lot of players use a program called Deck Tracker, which can show you your opponent's last board when you hover over them. I don't think that this should be a feature that you have to download a third-party application for. If this is allowed, and it is allowed, then why doesn't everyone have this? It basically puts players who don't download a third-party app at a disadvantage to everyone else. Another feature I'd like to see added is an end of turn button. Now this one's a little bit controversial. No one likes waiting for the turn to end if they have nothing to do. When every player has pressed the button, the turn ends and combat begins. It is going to be quite rare, especially in the late game, that the entire lobby would finish cycling their cards before the turn ends. However, there's no harm in it being there, and if the turn ends that bit faster and the game moves on, then surely that is a good thing. You could just show a counter of how many have pressed the end turn, and not show who's actually pressed it, as this could give away some information. I have played Battlegrounds on and off, and each time I come back there is very little that has changed with the game. Anomalies, trinkets and buddies are three things that get added and pulled to mix things up, and they've just added in dark gifts into season 14, so that's really nice to see, but I still don't think it goes far enough. The first big change is that new factions should be added in. Even if this was just one a year, this would give the pool a much larger variety, albeit the more factions added the harder it becomes to balance, but it would make the game more fun and entertaining. One major improvement that the game could have is a bit of guidance to the AI when combat is happening. At the moment it is completely random and it's just frustrating. For example, if you have a minion that hits both adjacent minions, that minion should never, when able, hit a minion on the side. They should hit a minion in the centre to use the card to its full potential. Another change to this should be if there's only a couple of minions remaining, and your minion could destroy an enemy minion, or die to one that has more attack and health, then it should attack the weaker minion. Combats get majorly affected by this randomness. I believe the reason that this exists is so that it gives anyone can win scenario. So even if you are bad at the game or doing worse than your opponent, there is the chance that you can come out on top. I don't believe the minions should act in a fully smart targeting way, and it's okay to be random, but some elements of the combat could and should be guided. Another interesting idea would be to have 3 or 4 player team modes. You could have a 16 player game instead of 8, and this would work even in solo. I don't think it would balance overly well, but it gives people a way to play with friends, and that currently isn't available. I think overall it would still be a fun experience. I also think that they could add a proper team chat, or so that you can type or even talk to teammates for those not directly on voice comms. Although I understand that they likely don't do this already to reduce toxicity. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, liking the video and leaving a comment.